the stock market has been closing on a bearish territory. They look at it that since the market are closing on a bearish territory, therefore Nigeria stock market is now on a bearish territory. No, that is not so. That is not so. See, what we are seeing now is just short-term pullback or a price correction or the retracement. Because most of those stocks that you were seeing, they were actually overpriced. Since they were overpriced, there is a need for people to book their profit. People are booking profit. That is why you see the price of stocks are falling. Because the moment people are booking profit in the stock market, the price of those will be falling. The bear market. We have a bull market or a bear market. My attention is to discover what we call a bear market. A bear market is that type of market that is characterized with a prolonged decline or decrease in price of security. When I say security here, I'm talking about shares. In the Nigerian stock market, we have around 140 something companies that are being listed. So the moment you notice that the price of all those company stocks that are being listed in the NGA is continuously falling, daily, weekly, monthly, then you can say the stock market is now on a bearish territory. There are a lot of conditions that must be baptized before you can even come to a conclusion that the market is now in a bear territory. It is wrong to use the stocks in your portfolio to judge if the market is on bearish or bullish. I have seen cases in which some people will look at their portfolio just because it's leaning by 10%, 20%, or 30%. Then they will say the market is now on a bearish note. No, you don't use individual stocks in your portfolio to judge if the market is bearish. Let's take a look at some of those conditions. If those conditions can be baptized, then you can say the market is in bearish territory. The number one is general decline in price. You look at all the companies, the prices of their shares are falling. You can talk about bear market. Not only that, negative market sentiment. If the investors develop a negative market sentiment, they don't have good opinion concerning the stocks in the company, they are not willing to buy the stock, probably because they look at the economic is not stable, or maybe they are not satisfied with government policies regarding the companies. Then negative market sentiment, they will not want to patronize the companies any longer, the stocks of the company. Then you can talk about bearish notes. Now we have prolonged decline in price of security. Just like I explained before, when you see that the prices of those stocks are falling weekly, daily, monthly, then you can talk, that's a prolonged. It must take a longer time, not because the price of it just for maybe 1 or 2 days. Now, then you say, now we are in bearish territory. Then selling pressure. That's another condition. In the bear market, there will be a lot of selling pressure. Everybody wants to sell. But apart from that one, we have a negative market break. Here you are talking about, you are comparing the ratio of the top gainer to that of top losers. Immediately the number of stocks that are losing are more than the number of stocks that is advancing or gaining. Then the bear market has occurred. Sustained decrease in total market cap. The total market cap, the total amount of money in the NGS. If the moment you notice that the total money is decreasing continuously, then you can talk about the fact that the company, the market is now on a bearish note. If all those conditions cannot be fulfilled, then the market is not yet on a bearish territory. Now, this calculation that we have on the board, we want to use it to actually find out if the market is now on a bearish territory. Now, the first one we want to look at is NGS All Share Index. NGS All Share Index is a benchmark to gauge or measure the performance of all the company stocks that are listed in the Nigeria Stock Exchange. Now, January 2025, it opened with 102,926.40 basis points. As at month of August, it's closed with 140,295.47 basis points. The highest this All Share Index has attained this year is 146,600.02 basis points, while the lowest in 2025 is 137,779.44 basis points. Now, year-to-date gain of All Share Index is 36.31%, which is higher than official headline inflation of 21.88%, which means if Nigeria stock market has returned to investor 36.31% gain in 2025, and the Nigeria official headline inflation is 21.88%, it means if you have invested your money in the Nigeria stock market rather than save that money in the bank, it has delivered for you 36.31%, far above official headline inflation. Now, how do we get 36.31%? What was done here is to subtract 140 from 102 divided by that 102 multiplied by 100 over 1. That is how we get 36. That is year-to-date gain, which is 36.31%. Even on a month-to-month basis, the month-to-month basis gain, if you do it, we have 0.31%. Now, when you look at the market cap, Look at our market cap. Market cap open with January. Total market capitalization, the total amount of money that is available in the NGX is 62.76 trillion naira as at January 2025. Presently, it's now 88.77 trillion, which means the Nigeria stock market is not in a bearish territory. We're looking at only even market capitalization and the NJ or share index. Now, apart from that one, why people believe that we are returning to or we are already in bearish territory is just because of the fact that for some days now, the stock market has been closing on a bearish territory. They look at it that since the market are closed on a bearish territory, therefore Nigeria stock market is now on a bearish territory. No, that is not so. That is not so. See, what we are seeing now is just short-term pullback or a price correction or the retracement. Because most of those stocks that you were seeing, they were actually overpriced. Since they were overpriced, there is a need for people to book their profit. People are booking profit. That is why you see the price of stocks are falling. Because the moment people are booking profit in the stock market, the price of those will be falling. Especially those stocks in the insurance space. You know, some of the stocks in the insurance space, they were penny stocks. So the moment, and the reason why you see some of those insurance stocks that the price actually rally was due to economic event, not fundamental. The economic event is the moment President Tinubu signed insurance reform bill into law. That was when people begin to buy the stocks. Imagine people like us that we bought Verita Capital when it was 1 naira 15 kobo. Even for the first day, the first trading day in the month of August, Verita Capital opened with 1.39 naira. And there was a day during the trading day in that August that he entered 3.06. And that was the moment I sold my home. Because even when I bought Verita Capital at the rate of 1 naira 15 kobo, my intention was to sell the moment it broke the resistance region of last year. What was the resistance region? 1.80. Now, I'm expecting the stock to break out of resistance region of 1.80, probably to top 2 naira. But behind the stock, top 3 naira. What am I waiting for? As an investor in the market, I booked profit also before the price dip. Link Assurance, the first day in the first trading day in the month of August, Link Assurance opened with 1 naira 45 kobo. It even entered 2.99. What of Sovereign Insurance? Sovereign Insurance opened with 1.77. I think it's also crossed 3 naira. Nasako opened with 3.9, crossed about 5 naira. So some of those insurance stocks, because they were actually driven by economic events, not fundamental. That's why you are seeing a retracement in their price. That's why you are seeing a pullback. So, you know, I have noticed over the last 2-3 months that people are buying insurance stocks. I noticed what we call unusual volume. I saw the footprint of an institutional investor hijacking some of the insurance penny stocks in the market. Why were they buying the stock? I don't know. I don't work in Nigeria Stock Exchange for me to know why they were buying the stocks. But the power of technical analysis actually revealed to me that people are accumulating insurance stocks. And that is why I have to join the movie train. If not for technical analysis, I would have missed out after those stocks. Because I knew that some of them were not driven by fundamental, but rather an economic event. But which economic event they were actually benefiting from? Not until it was revealed. When it was revealed some weeks ago that President Tinubu actually signed insurance reform bill into law. And that was why you see some of those stocks in insurance space actually pick up. So now that you are seeing that the price is falling, they were actually overpriced. So when those prices are falling now, it's just a short-time correction, a pullback. It's not a bear market. We are not in a bear market. Because for you to say we're in a bear market, all these conditions that have been stated there must be baptized. Even in the bear market, the inflation figure must go up. We have high rate of inflation, which we don't have. Apart from that one, even our GDP must be very low. And apart from that one, for you to say a market is also on a bear territory, it means in such a market, there will be decrease in profit of some of the companies that are listed in the NGX. So all those conditions are not being baptized. Provided you cannot baptize all these conditions, then don't say we are in a bear market. Never use individual stocks in your portfolio to say that the Nigeria market is now on a bearish territory. So for the now, with what I've talked so far, Nigeria equity market is not on a bearish territory. Thank you.